Oh man, we're finally back. It feels like it's been forever, but we're finally back with season 2 of Demon Slayer. We're going to be talking all about episode 1, Flame Hashira Kyojuro Rengoku, the God King. Also, fair warning, if you haven't seen Mugen Train, I am going to talk about Mugen Train, which is literally the arc we're in, just so you know that there's some spoilers right off the top. If you haven't seen Mugen Train, you really should, but anyway, I'm going to talk about Mugen Train stuff in the video, but before we do, quick reminder if you haven't done so yet, to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, set notifications to all, let all of AnyTube know that you're here. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump right into this. We're back! Sorta back. So, yeah, it's a redo of Mugen Train. We knew that going in. That's okay, right? Like, I know some people were, like, upset about that, and it is definitely a little weird. Like, I'm not over the moon about it. You know, I'm just a little bit bummed out because it's like, all right, like it's a bit odd seeing them pull sort of a Dragon Ball Super style redo of Mugen Train. You know, like if you don't know, when Dragon Ball Super came out, it started with a really fun first episode. I really enjoyed the first episode of Super. I thought it was really fun and goofy, and it was a good time. And then it becomes Battle of Gods, and then Resurrection F. And then finally gets into the anime-specific arcs, you know, stuff like the Future Trunks stuff, the Tournament of Power, stuff like that. So with Demon Slayer Season 2, is kind of doing the same thing, right? Demon Slayer Season 2 is like, okay, we're going to do Mugen Train, but in anime form instead of in anime movie form, like TV anime form instead of movie. And that is a little weird, but you have to remember something, okay? You have to remember that finally, UFO Table, since my lovely girlfriend, the space girl, has told me that it's not Ufotable like I thought. It is UFO Table. But UFO Table, I hate that name. But UFO Table, you know, like we've all made the jokes of like, oh yeah, like UFO Table doesn't pay their taxes. Ha ha ha. That's why they have all this money for all these anime. Turns out UFO Table wasn't paying their taxes. So the joke was real. And they had to pay a bunch of years of back taxes, which I think came up to a couple $1,000,000. So yeah, a lot of their shows probably had their budget slashed out of nowhere. That's my guess. And with that, probably meant less time to pay animators. So my guess is that they were like, okay, we'll do an anime original, and then once the movie stuff starts, we'll start with an anime original episode, and then once the movie stuff starts, we can reuse scenes from the movie. And that's fine by me, because the movie's super sick. I don't mind watching the movie again, just stretched out. Like, that's fine by me. The movie is super great. So I'm A-okay with that, and I like the fact that we did get, like, some anime original stuff with Rengoku at the very start. Very, very, very happy to see Rengoku stuff. I'm not gonna lie, Rengoku immediately became an absolute favorite of mine, like, in the whole series after the movie. Just such a great character. So getting to see more of him before, you know, that's nice. Because I'm not gonna lie, Rengoku, he's just a G, right? Like, everything about Rengoku is great. Everything about this arc is great. Like this, I do worry, because it wasn't just the space girl who said this. I've seen people point this out, that the demon, or the Mugen Train stuff works really well, because like that arc works really well as a movie because it can so easily be condensed, right? And I worry that stretching it across 6 episodes, because the first episode's like anime filler stuff, right? Like, I shouldn't say filler, right? Like, it makes sense. It very neatly ties into the movie. We'll call it filler, but it doesn't feel like filler, you know what I'm saying? Like, it flows very nicely. But, you know, some people might take issue with it, and like, I do worry that the 6 episodes, like 6 episodes for the movie stretched out, I worry that it might be a bit much, you know, like that they might, I don't know, that it might be a little too long to sort of like that it might sort of like slow to a crawl at some points. I do worry about that it might just be sort of like drag itself along, and I don't really want that. But at the same time, is Demon Slayer. I'm not gonna say no to more Demon Slayer, and we got all the stuff coming up with the other arc, whose name is escaping me right now, but I believe that is with the fancy dude Tengen. I believe he is like the main Hashira for that particular arc. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of. I'm not gonna lie, Tengen's design is great, and I do want to see more of him. But before we do, we get to reunite with our boy Rengoku. And let me tell you, for an anime original episode, right? Like for what I gather is an anime original episode, UFO Table did not need to go in that hard. I still hate that name, UFO Table. It should be Ufotable, but UFO Table did not need to go in that hard, okay? Like that, the food, oh my god, the food. Like the food, not only are we eating because we get Rengoku content, Rengoku is eating delicious food because he gets delicious UFO Table food content, right? Like everybody just eating. Everybody's eating. I don't know why the food looked so good, but it looked so good. You know what I'm saying? Like it looked delicious. Like I wanted to bite. And I'm not even that hungry right now, but I wanted to bite. Like I wasn't hungry. I'm still not hungry, but when I saw that food, oh, your boy was starving. I was salivating. It was so good. And then when I saw Rengoku, I was still salivating because he looked real good. Anyway, but yeah, it's a whole thing. Like everything about, even the animation on like the fight between him and the Slasher is great. That's Sonic the Hedgehog looking ass, like just speeding through, running around at the speed of sound. Got places to go. He has to follow his rainbow. If you know what song that is, good for you. But yeah, definitely like everything about this, right? Like they did not need to go in that hard, and they did anyway, and I so appreciate it. You know, like I so appreciate it. And I will say, like, even the characters that we get introduced to this week are fun, right? Like, I'll admit, like, you guys know, kids in anime, kids in general, kind of bother me, right? Because it's like a lot of the time, like a lot of kids, especially in anime and especially like in fiction in general, always like back talk to the adults as though they know what's going on. But Fuku and her grandma, you know what? Like Fuku's pretty great. Like I was a little annoyed because I was like, man, Fuku telling the grandma that she doesn't believe in demons and like just being like a brat to her grandmother when her grandmother's just trying to be helpful, right? Like, and then being mean to Rengoku when Rengoku says that he's there to slay the demon. Like she's just being a brat. But you kind of have to see it from her point of view, right? Like from her point of view, she's out here trying to sell these bentos to the people getting on the train because that's how her family makes money. And with the Slasher going around, suddenly people don't really want to be riding the trains at night, so her income has suddenly got slashed. Haha, slashed by the Slasher. But her income gets slashed, and so her grandma's like, don't worry, Fuku, I got you. You let Granny handle this, okay? I got your back. Right? It's all good, don't worry about it. But Fuku's obviously like, there's no such thing, right? Like, because to Fuku, and to, I believe, if I am mistaken, do let me know. It's been a bit since I last saw season 1. But if I'm not mistaken, a lot of folks don't believe that demons are real. Like, they know about, like, what demons are supposed to be, but I don't think they fully believe. Like, even when Rengoku saves the kid at the train station, like, the other engineers, like, they don't really understand what they're looking at when they see the Slasher. Like, I think they know that he's a demon, but they just weren't sure how to process it. So I do think that, like, if I'm not mistaken, it makes sense why Fuku's like, demons aren't real, right? Because at first I was like, what are you talking about? But then I'm like, oh wait, yeah, what am I talking about? Why would she know that, right? Like, and it's also, even if it's not, even if people do know, it is a sign that, like, Fuku is, like, the sign of the generation coming up not really being familiar with demons, right? Because the Demon Slayer, like, the Slayer Corps is doing such a good job, right? That, like demons are slowly getting further and further away from society and further wiped out, that eventually there will come a time, long after Tanjiro and the gang have grown old and passed on, that demons might just not even exist, right? Like, and it's an interesting concept that Fuku sort of brings up, like, without even meaning to. The idea that this generation, like Fuku's generation, like young kids, just don't believe in demons. They think it's all, like, ridiculous. They think it's bull hockey. But the grandmother totally knows, and she even remembers. Like, Granny's a G, by the way. Like, Granny is a Granny with a capital G, because she, like, straight up tosses the bento at a demon. No shit's given. Like, absolute legend. And then remembers remembers Rengoku's dad, even though she thought it was Rengoku. That scene killed me. Like, that scene where it's, like you see somebody who looked like Rengoku save the granny and her kid, which is Fuku's mom, and, obviously, and, you think for a second it's Rengoku, but then you're like, oh no, that's Rengoku's old man. And he even says like, oh, like 20 years ago, so that would have been my dad, actually. It is an honor to save you as he did, right? And I was like, that's my boy right there, that's my Rengoku. But then, we gotta get sad. Because Rengoku has so many things that happen in this where it's like, just like the biggest death flag of them all, just waving in the wind like, I know you all saw the movie, you know what's coming. It's like, I do know. And you know what's funny? Your boy gonna cry again. You know it, I know it, we all know it. You know, like everybody, I know that I'm gonna cry, you know that I'm gonna cry, all of you know this, all of you are gonna cry when it happens. You know you're gonna. Okay, look, when I saw that movie, I saw it when it was released on Funimation, because I couldn't go see it in theaters. People kept the secret, right? Like, there was so much stuff in that movie that I had no idea was gonna happen. Like, the dream stuff, I had no idea that any of that shit was gonna happen. The kids, no idea, right? I kind of had a feeling about Rengoku because of the way people were talking about him, but I was like, maybe not. But then I was like, oh my god, I can't believe it. But man, even my chat, who had already seen it, everybody was telling me that they were getting emotional all over again. Because Rengoku's just that guy. Like, he just has that charisma, that energy to him, that you just want to see him succeed. And don't even deny that there's going to be a piece of you in the back of your head that's just like, even though you know what's going to happen during the fight, you know you're going to be like, come on, Rengoku, come on! Right? Like, you could do it! Even though you know what's going to happen, right? Because that scene between him and Akaza is... Oh, my phone is going off. Apologies. That scene between him and Akaza is absolutely amazing. That fight is incredible. Like, it is the stuff of legends. Why won't my phone turn off? There we go. Professional YouTuber. Anyway. But no, it is such a crazy moment. I can't wait to see how I would love if they were just like, you know what? Let's just make that fight like an entire episode. Like, let's just make that fight a full-ass episode. I'd be down for that. I'm not gonna lie, if they just went like, let's just animate more. Like, let's just add to the fight. I'd be so down. Because, like, I'm not gonna lie, it even made me a fan of Akaza. I believe that's his name. It made me a fan of his, too. Even though he's the one who takes out my boy, but a God King is the only one who could take out another God King. And, yeah, Rengoku is that guy. Like, Rengoku is a God King. Like, you see how this man, like, sees the other demon just start, like, speed off, like, the blue blur. And this man's just like, screw blue, I like red! And, like, just starts running ahead with the speed of fire. You know, he looks like the DeLorean at one point. It's crazy. Like, Rengoku just... I just love this dude. I just love Rengoku. I just think he's the best. I just love him to pieces. I love him, and so does everybody else. Like, seeing, like, at the end with the, like, which I missed, by the way, the little, like, pre-credits or post-credits scene. I think it's usually after the OP, or after the ED. So the post-ED scene, like, where it's just, like, the Demon Slayers, like, sort of having, like, a cutesy moment. Sometimes we get, like, the after-school stuff, where it's, like, the characters, if they were in a school setting, stuff like that. We're getting them in the game. Oh my god, the game's coming out soon! Totally forgot. By the way, if you're watching this, I will destroy you in that game. You better hope that we don't encounter each other online, especially if your name is Sunwoo. If your name is Sunwoo, or any of them, anybody, ED, Chibi, oh, you fools, oh, you better hope I don't catch you online. Oh, you better hope. Oh, you better hope. Lotus, I think Lotus is on the other side of the landmass, so I don't know if I'm gonna encounter Lotus, but all of you, I don't, like, specifically Sun, because Sun's the one talking the most shit. You guys better wait. But I'm not here to talk about the game. That's it. You know where to find me. Link in the description to the website that starts with a T and is all purple. For eventual Demon Slayer matches with other AnyTuber tournament, by the way, that's gotta happen. But even the other Slayers, everybody likes Rengoku. You know I'm gonna play as Rengoku, right? Everybody loves Rengoku. I'm gonna be playing as Rengoku and probably Akaza. Not gonna lie. But everybody, even the Slayers like him. Like, Shinobu thinks he's a good person, even though they're not always on the same page. Tengen says that he's flamboyant and sticks out more than him, but he's a great guy. Muichiro says that he's like a cheery owl. Mitsuri says he's like a cool big brother. Even friggin' Iguro and Sanemi, who are those two asshole Slayers from the end of Season 1, like the real douchebags, even they love the guy. And even like Himijima, who's like the monk dude, he gets a positive vibe from him. Even Gyu, the quiet Gyu, says that that friggin' Rengoku goes out of his way to talk to him. Like, everybody loves this man. Like, everybody loves him. So of course they just gotta be throwing death flags out, like, all willy-nilly, right? Just like especially at the end when he buys like a whole stock of bentos. By the way, this whole episode was just the origin of the bento box. Which is hilarious to me. When you think about it, I should title that the video, The Origin of Rengoku's Bento, right? Like this, the origin story of Rengoku's Bento box. Like, anyway, the whole thing is just an origin to the Bento box. And then it leads up to the line of him promising that he's gonna tell his old man about them and that they'll meet again one day. And it's like, Rengoku, stop! Why you gotta do this to me? Why you gotta make me feel sad? I didn't want to feel sad today. I wanted to get hype. Okay? I see you, I see Gyu, I see Shinobu and Tengen, you know? I see Mitsuri, I see my main trio, well, my quartet, even though Nezuko's in the box, but that's still, you know? The only one missing was Urokodake, and I would have been happy. I had all my faves show up. I'm good. Right? Like, I would have been nice to see Akaza, maybe, you know, maybe some other folk, but like, I'll take it. I'll take it, man. Like this was such a pleasant start, but I didn't need to have my emotions toyed with like that. Like when Rengoku sees the train and it just shows like him in front of the Mugen train and they know what this moment means to people who have seen the movie, so they just linger on it. I'm like, man, put down the death flags. All right, this man walking around like he's in Hamefura, just like avoiding doom flags, except he's not gonna avoid them. We know how this is gonna go down. And yeah, like, am I concerned about the pacing for the next few episodes? Yeah, a little bit, not gonna lie, a little bit, but it's Demon Slayer. I trust the staff on this show, something fierce, and I can't wait to see what the next arc after this is with Tengen. I can't remember what it's called. It's like a shopping district or something. What is it? I can't remember what it is. I don't remember. I just know that Tengen's in it, and that man's fabulous, and is gonna be great. But yeah, Rengoku, absolute boss. Absolute boss. Anyway, to the end screen. And that's gonna do it for today's video, everybody. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to boop that up snoot, share if you care, leave a comment down below, and of course, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and set notifications to all. Let all of AniTube know that you're here. And of course, before we go, as always, I have to give a big thank you to my wonderful masters who help support this endeavor. And of course, I want to give a special thank you to the Masters of Masters who help support us just that little bit more. And I have to give a big thank you to Izevi, Asaki VT, Elizabeth Just Elizabeth, JCran23, Jeremy P, Matt87 Eagle, Shadow Creative, Shiorans, Stephen G, Stevie W, Trapmaster, and Tristan G. Thank you all so much for being so freaking wonderful. I appreciate it. And if you want to hear your name shouted out at the end of these videos, or you want to see your name scrolling past the screen, go ahead and check out the link in the description to our Patreon page, or you can hit that join button right beside the sub button. And that also gets you a badge next to your name as well in the comments if you want people to know how cool you are. But yeah, I'd sincerely appreciate it. It is a great way to help this channel and keep videos coming out. I really appreciate it, everyone. And that is it for me. So you guys take care of yourselves, and of course, do clean your room. It's filthy.